Okay, folks, I'm going to get right into it and start with sharing my screen right here. And there you go. Okay, today what I'm going to do is for the benefit of my present and future clients, I decided to put together this quick video on the agreement that you will be signing with a real estate agent, assuming you're a home seller. Okay, and I just would like to try and share this with future or present clients before I visit them at the home so that they're acquainted with it and kind of understand what it is that I'm going to be putting in front of their faces. And hopefully by the end of our little meeting, have them sign an initial. So this is for your benefit. It's regardless of whether you're thinking of selling now or in the near future. I think this will prove helpful in your understanding as how the process works and where we begin. This is step one. There are, by the way, other contracts that an agent can present to you depending on what you both agree on. This is an exclusive right to sell marketing agreement, which gives the agent the exclusive rights to sell your home on your behalf. Okay, there are other agreements, and hopefully I can put something together in the future I can just go right down the line and explain to you how many there are. I think there's 5, and what the purposes are and what they're used for. So we're going to start at the very top, and we're going to go from left to right and go straight down. And I'm only going to touch on the areas that I actually do fill out most of these contracts when I'm listing a property, and you'll see that a lot of the areas in this form or this document remains blank. It's just if it remains blank, it means that it doesn't apply and it's got nothing to do with the agreement. Okay, so at the very top, you'll see the brokerage. Net Realty is the brokerage that I am brokered under. My company is Los Home Agents LLC, brokered by Net Realty Corp. Okay, we're out in Elmhurst right now, 880 North York Road. We'll be moving soon, but this is I'm using my company, my brokerage in this example. Okay, right across from that, there's 2 areas for seller information, seller name information. I've got here John Doe, Jane Doe, designated managing broker. That is the person in charge of the brokerage. Now, going back to number 1 here, this could be any brokerage. It could be Compass, it could be Redfin, it could be Zillow. You get the idea. Whatever brokerage company you're dealing with, the agent works for or with, that's the name that will be on the number 1. Number 3 is the designated managing broker. This is usually the person that owns the office, the owner, the managing owner. He could have another managing broker over him in another office, but this is the person that runs that particular office that the agent that's having you sign this agreement works under. Okay. Now, the designated agent would be the realtor or the real estate agent that is in front of you when you sign this agreement. Usually, okay. In very rare cases, the managing broker will step in. Let's say if the designated agent is sick or for whatever reason cannot attend, if the managing broker cannot get somebody to step in, they will do that themselves. Okay, real quick, we'll go down on that first page. We fill in the address. This would be the address of your property that you're selling. 123 Main Street is the example. It's in Cook County, in Chicago. Um, it's got the zip code, the state, real easy. If there's designated parking is included, this is usually for condos, townhouses, things like that, that have separate parking spaces that are sold with the property. A lot of times they have their own PIN number. Um, the PIN number for this particular property example is right here. Okay. And that's used, when you do taxes, that's how the government is able to pinpoint your property and know which property is which. So if you have if this is a condo that you're selling, you might have a separate PIN number for that. And that kind of information goes down here at the bottom. If you have a designated parking spot that goes with the unit, it also has that information goes down here. So your agent will know, and you obviously will know if it's a condo or a townhouse. Your agent will know to fill this area out for you if that is the case. Terms of condition, this is very important. Now, for some reason, some agents like to fill these dates in here and tie you up for an entire year, which is, for me, when I hear that, that raises red flags and some concern, and I'm an agent. But you need to look at this number 19 and make sure that you don't get taken by your agent. The longer they ask to keep this contract enforced, the more time they have to sell your house and the lazier they're going to be. So keep an eye on this. I usually do 3 months. Okay, if I can do 6 months, I'll do 6 months. But if you're really uncomfortable and you're not sure if you're not getting that good feel in the gut about the agent that's in front of you, ask for 3 months and let them just do 3 months. I always do 3 months because I have a 90-day guarantee that if I can't get your house sold at the price we both agree on, you can fire me. So that's why I always do 3 months. But a lot of people, our agents will do 6 months. Some will do 12 months. Okay. So depending on how long you want to be committed to trying to get your house sold, pay real good attention to number 19. Okay. Now, a lot of this, I'm going to go through it real quick. If you want to reach out to me and ask me additional questions, I'd be more than happy to go over it with you. You have it here. You can go over it, take your time, read it. It's here in its entirety. So hopefully you can find it helpful. And if you do need my help, I'll leave my information at some point in this video so that you can reach out to me. So the number 25, if I highlight it in yellow, those are the areas I usually need the seller to sign. And the reason there's two areas is because sometimes we have two owners, or if we have more than two owners, we'll need to add a line. So here you have the seller names. It's usually Mr. and Mrs. Smith, or in this case, Mr. and Mrs. Doe. Okay. So they would sign their initials. They will initial side by side if there's two owners. Okay, real quick, we'll go down to the price. This is the price that you and the agent will agree upon selling, and this will be based on comparable marketing analysis that your agent puts together and the number that you feel is right for you. Excuse me. All right, moving right along. At the very bottom of every page, your initials are required, the seller's initials. Again, we have two areas here where that requires initials. If there's only one seller, one owner of the property, you would go ahead and just initial one of the spaces, not two. All right, the next page, page number 2, pictures and personal properties. These are items that you are agreeing to leave behind. Here, like the refrigerator, the oven, water heater, central air conditioning, light fixtures, things like that. So that when they write up an offer, the buyer already knows what they're going to get or what is going to be left behind with the home. If there's other items that you want to leave, like let's say you have an old car in the garage and you don't want to take it with you, you don't want to deal with it, you can put it on here. It's included in the sale so that it stays. But if there is an item that you need to remove before you sell, then you need to put in an items not included on here. Like let's say you have a chandelier that was passed on to you from your grandmother to your mother, and you want to keep it. You would write that in here so that you'll remove it. Obviously, you'll probably need to put in a regular light fixture to replace it. But nevertheless, if you include it in items not included, then the buyer knows that that's not going to be there when they move in. Okay? So the rest of it, you can take your time and look at it. And again, if it's blank, it's usually not filled out. Okay, talks a little bit about dual agency. Again, here, page 2, initials for both owners, or if it's just one, all you need to do is initial one of these areas. And we were talking about dual agencies, and it asks if you accept this disclosure of dual representation, yes or no. This simply said means that if the agent finds a buyer for you directly instead of another agent from another brokerage finding a buyer for you, and your agent who is helping you sell the home also finds a buyer for you, you're okay with him or her representing both sides. So you would say yes or no right here. And then again, you would initial it. The owners would initial right next to it. Every time you give an answer, you need to initial alongside the answer. Okay. Notice regarding buyer's requests. Let's see, we're talking about people taking additional pictures and videos. If your property, the home that you're selling, is vacant, there's usually no issues or problems with people potential buyers that walk through the house taking pictures or videos. Usually they want to. There's a wife that has a husband who's working, or a couple who want to show it to their family. They want to take videos and pictures. Sometimes they'll do video calls and walk through the property while they're doing the video call and showing the other person on the phone. So you need to decide if that's okay. Assuming the home is occupied and you have a lot of expensive items in the house, I wouldn't recommend you allow any additional pictures. So we would do no on that if that's the case. Offer letters. Offer letters are simply letters that people tend to write and give to their agents, to their buyer agents, hoping that they can get on your good side. They'll do something like, hey, we saw your house this weekend. We have 3 kids. This would be a perfect fit for us. That backyard is just amazing. My 2 dogs will love it. things like that, you know. So I normally don't recommend accepting offer letters because it can get a little, you know, it goes into a little gray area. Um, if someone else who didn't get the property and they made an offer similar to the one you accepted could say that you discriminated under the federal fair housing law, and things can get a little, you know, um, a little steamy there. And we don't want any of that. We want a smooth and fast closing. So I would recommend not accepting any offer letters. Um, Again, that's the end of page 3. Then you would initial the bottom of each page. Again, all right. So the next part is very important. It's number 173, item 16. It's the listing broker's compensation. Okay, today, normally in the past, you were supposed to disclose where what you were doing with the commissions and how much commission was being divided between brokerages, things like that. Now they have it in writing. So that's basically it. Here is where you'll know if what you agreed on is in writing. If you agreed on 6%, 5%, 4% compensation, it would be right here. Okay. There's an option here. It gives you either the percentage or a price. I usually just go with percentages. Here you'll see 4%, which is what I usually do. And obviously, I always ask that you agree on that 4% before we move forward. And that's for everyone. That doesn't matter. I give, I give my all to every client. So, anyways, I don't want to get into that. I'm supposed to be focusing on the document itself. So here, keep an eye on this. This is where you'll know what you're paying in commissions or compensation to the realtor that's working with you. Here is, you'll see I put $450. It's usually a transaction fee that needs to be paid for by the seller side. And this is usually taken out of the buyer's compensation. This 4%, and I always do a 50-50 split. So if I have another agent come in with a buyer, they would get 2%, I would get 2%. Other agents might do it differently, but that's how I do it. Okay, and then the $450 transaction fee would be coming out of the buyer's agent's 2%. So whatever's here, the forward percentage, as long as there's nothing here with the dollar amounts, is what you're going to be paying the agent. So you know upfront, this is what it's going to cost me to hire this person that's here today, help having me sign this agreement. Okay. You can go ahead when you have time. Again, go back to this and just read it over. Take a look at it. And if you have any questions, feel free to get back with me, and I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. Line 188. It's got 90 days from expiration date herein. You can go ahead and move that. This is just telling you that if after this agreement expires, let's say we go through 3 months and nothing happens, we get no offers, we fail to sell the home, and within 90 days after that, if any of the people that came by to see the home while I had an agreement, or during the time that I had my agreement with the seller, I still get paid my compensation, okay? Because those are people that my marketing and my hard work brought into the home to see if they were interested for whatever reason. They weren't interested at the time, but then they came back and they wanted to make an offer. Our agreement, our contract has expired, but these are the same people that have seen the house already, and it's within the 90-day period. So we technically have kind of an agreement, and that 90-day period is covered in the contract. So 90 days after the expiration date, if we have somebody come back in who has already seen the house, that saw it while we were on the contract, we meaning the real estate agent and the seller, then the seller would still need to pay me or the agent, the selling agent, the compensation. And obviously the buyer's agent compensation as well, because that gets split again for 4%, 2% on each side. Okay, so it just goes on, it talks about you acknowledging the buyer's broker's compensation, let you know that it's set by law, it's not set by law, and it's fully negotiable. So if you can get your agent to work for you for just the transaction fee, you can do that. Okay, it's negotiable. I actually had a family member, and I did that because it was family member. Okay, so it's very negotiable. I try to keep my compensation as low as possible, so that both sides, if I can't find a buyer of my own, and another agent brings a buyer to the house, we can still split it, and all parties involved shouldn't have a problem, should be happy with the outcome. Okay, then you initial it there, one owner or two owners. We're talking about cooperation involving non-participant. Seller grants permission for an Illinois real estate licensee who is not a participant, it's found in paragraph 2, to have access to property. So this basically is all the agents from Redfin, all the agents from Zillow, all the agents from Compass, all the agents out there who are licensed in Illinois. You give them permission to come by and see the house. This is something that your agent or I, as an agent, will coordinate when and how they're going to view your property while it's being sold. Okay. So yes, it's usually the answer. You don't mind these people coming and bringing their clients. These agents coming and bringing their clients to see your home. Again, the initial there, and we need to initial the bottom of every single page. For one seller to seller. We're almost done, folks. I know this is boring, but you can take your time and look at it, and you'll know what's coming before it gets to you. Here, lines 237 through 240. It gives your agent that's representing you permission to list a property on the internet. You give them permission to put the address on the internet. This is like once it's on the MLS, it's all over the internet. I don't like giving them permission to comment or review on the listing. There's a lot of bad people out there, folks, and they will say some bad things about your properties. Unfortunately, there might be, somebody who's selling a home down the street from you and has some comments about yours because he or she doesn't want yours to sell before theirs. And this business is, tricky. So I just don't advise anybody to say yes to give permission to put comments or reviews on a listing, unless the house is immaculate and it's, luxury type of home. The other thing I don't recommend that you allow automatic estimates of value on your listing. Okay, that's when there's a calculator that comes up on the listing, and it allows the viewer to plug in the numbers, and that particular calculator will not work the same like all the others. Each each brokerage, each company has its own calculator, and every one of them calculates differently. So we don't want anything to throw the potential buyers off when they're trying to figure out, how much a house is actually worth. All right. So I usually suggest we do not want automated estimate of value on the list. Okay. So then you would initial um, one or both of these on those lines, 237 through 240. And then we'll come down to, we got, okay, we're talking about title insurance. Who's going to be responsible for that? Normally, unless it's otherwise discussed between the attorneys and buyers and sellers, and you decide differently. The seller's attorney usually handles the title insurance. Okay, so initials will go there. Initials will go at the bottom of the page, and we're on page 6. We're almost done, folks. We got here the real estate is not located within a special assessment area, special service area. Again, this is being condescending, but we're repeating ourselves. I think we went through this once before, and I don't know why they do it in this contract, but it comes up again where it talks about special assessment area. And you need to let them know that this is not located in a special assessment area, and you initial there. We're moving right along. We're talking again, special assessments. I think this is for, let me see if I missed something here. Hmm. Yep. Anytime it talks about special assessments, here it's referencing taxes, okay? Talk about taxes being prorated, expenses shall be prorated pursuant to the terms of the sales contract. It's usually 105% proration on the taxes. This is something that I've always found that the attorneys explain to the clients and the lender. The lender especially explains this to the client on how this works. And real quick, as you know, taxes are paid in arrears. Okay, so when you sell a house this year, you're paying for taxes for last year. And since the old owner lived in the property last year, they're responsible for those taxes. So they need to pay the taxes for the year they lived in there at the time of closing. So that's a little extra money that you'll get at closing, but then it gets moved around. Some of it goes into escrow so that you can pay the taxes while you're living there the year of the purchase. Okay. So again, your lender and your attorney will explain all of this to you. As a matter of fact, your attorney has 5 days to go through all the documents once they're all executed or all signed off by both parties, and see if there's anything off. And the attorney will call you and go over everything, make sure that you're in agreement, everything's cool. And within that 5-day period, actually they have more than 5 days because they can request an extension. So if they can't get it done in 5 days, they request an extension, take a little more time. If they need to really go through the contract and make sure that everything's cool, then usually there's no issues with that. The buyer or the seller agrees to it, and the buyer takes a few more days to turn in what they call the attorney review. Okay, once the attorney review comes in, everything's cool, and we move forward from there. We're at item 350. Talked about earnest money. A lot of brokerages do not hold earnest money simply because there are a lot of laws that are attached to dealing with earnest money, and things like separate bank accounts for every client, paying out interest, stuff like that. So there are brokerages that do are able to control this and do accept the earnest money. But if it's not the brokerage, it's the attorney. So we do not, in my case, hold earnest money. So I usually have the attorney or the broker on the other side hang on to it until the close. Okay. We're almost there. So again, at the end of every document, we need initials, and then we're at the last page. The last page again, actually this should be up here, but it's got the designated managing broker, their signature. The designated agent would be like me, would be here. If I'm a managing broker myself, so I could, if I had my own office, my name would be up here as well. But I keep things simple, and I like to give my time to my clients. So I have an old friend who owns a brokerage, and we have an agreement where I work under him. I have my license hanging at his office, and that's how I roll. Okay. So here's the information on the brokerage, the office, where it's located, phone numbers, the agent's email address. This is my email address here. Now, a couple of things that we need at the end that are required. Seller signature. Okay. Like I said, if it's just one seller or one owner, we just need one signature. If it's a couple, we need two. If it's more than two, then we'll obviously need more than two signatures. Current address is required. So wherever you're living at the time that you're selling the property, here's where the address goes. If you're living at the property you're selling, the address would go here. It would use the same address. Okay. So there you go, folks. My name is Dave Perez. I'm with Los Home Agents and brokered by Net Realty Corp., presently located in Elmhurst, Illinois, at 80 North York Road. We will be moving soon to Bensonville. So if you need to reach me, if you have any questions, if you're near, let me back up. If you're near Westchester, Berwyn, Lyons, Riverside, North Riverside, that's my area. Okay, that's where I'm located. I can pretty much move around. I do go into the city of Chicago, and just give me a call if you have questions. Nobody should charge for questions. If you are planning to sell or buy and you're a little confused, I do have a website where I answer a lot of questions on there. My name's Dave Perez. Just text me. I can send you the links to all of this, or I can send you a reply via text. or email. Okay, if you can text me your email, I can send you answers via email. I can send you links via email. There's no commitment on your part. I'm here to serve and ask questions or answer questions. I'm sorry. And if you feel at any point in time that you're ready to move forward and either sell your home or buy or both, just give me a shout. Again, my name is Dave Perez. 708-408-9006 is my direct cell phone number. You can reach me at LOSHOMEAGENTS@gmail.com. Okay, so that's loshomeagents@gmail.com. All right, folks, that's it for now. I hope you found this helpful. You take care. Until next time, this is Dave Perez out.